First, we'll look at the lesson objective of today's video lesson. In this video lesson, we will familiarize ourselves with the long wall short wall method of finding quantities. Two commonly used cost estimation methods are long wall and short wall method and central line method. For our video lesson today, we will be focusing on long wall and short wall method. So let's look at the need as to why we take this method of measurement. So when we are taking the outer dimension, when we are given the outer dimensions of a room, we're looking at the first figure on the left. So we have L0 and the breadth as B0. And if we take the outer dimensions to find the various quantities, we find that when we take the outer dimension of any quantity, there is an overlap at the corners. We have extra material calculated at the corners. For example, if we are doing the excavation, and for that we first take the length as L0 plus B0 and plus L0 plus B0, if that is the perimeter that we take, then we find that at the corners we are actually taking L0, and then B0 has, this portion of B0 has also already been considered in the L0 part. So we find that at the corners there are extra measurements being taken. Now if we have the inner dimensions of the room, and we focus on the inner dimensions to find the area, again then we are leaving out the corner dimension, the corner areas. So in order to avoid this discrepancy or this extra calculation, or in order to have a more accurate calculation, we follow the long wall short wall method. So in the long wall short wall method, the walls are considered separate individually, and so for in this case, this whole wall, which has got the dimension, which has got one side as L0, is taken as one wall, and here the corner repetition is not taking place. Instead, we have the B0 side on the breadth, the side where we have the breadth of the room. We avoid the area which has been, the portion which has been already considered in the other wall. So this gives a more accurate calculation of quantities of materials, because we are not considering, we are only considering it as individual walls, and the extra that takes place, as we saw in the previous case, doesn't happen here. So the long wall short wall method, to get the length of long wall or short wall, the center line lengths of the individual walls are marked and measurements are taken from this as reference. So first, when we take the long wall short wall method, we first take the central line of the walls, and this is in a symmetric building. We are assuming that the foundation and the wall, the plinth, etc. are in symmetry, and this is a very important aspect. So first of all, we mark the central line of the individual walls. L is the length of the long wall, and it is taken out to out, which means that the outer dimension, the dimension of that particular item from one end to the other end is taken. And for this, since we have a reference of central line length, what we do is we take the central line length of that particular wall plus half breadth at each end, which becomes central line length plus breadth of the particular item. This will become clearer when we look at the diagram. We'll just have the formula in this slide now. Now, when we denote S as the short wall, we denote the short wall as S. The length of short wall is measured in to in, is equal to center line length minus half breadth at each end, which means there are two ends, so there are two half breadths which are subtracted, which is equal to